For 23-year-old Jordan Younger, not only was eating healthy her passion, it became her life.
I got really passionate about plant-based veganism. I developed a blog called The Blonde Vegan.
Developing programs for her 80,000 followers, she blogged about food every day, but she had a secret. Younger took her obsession with the plant diet too far.
I started to develop some health problems.
Orthorexia is an obsession with eating food that one considers healthy.
Once I was diagnosed with orthorexia, I started changing my diet and started reincorporating animal protein.
When Younger finally made her eating disorder public, not everyone was so supportive.
I started hearing from animal rights activists, from ethical vegans. They called me disgusting, and I got death threats. People who have really all or nothing personalities like my own are more susceptible to developing eating disorders if they eat in a restrictive way to begin with.
Well, and that hits upon number 7 on our list. There is such a thing as being too healthy, and Jordan's here to tell us how she discovered her healthy diet. Well, it wasn't so healthy for her after all. And some of the things we were reading about you were going through with your health, it's pretty astounding.
Yeah, it was pretty serious. So I was vegan for 2 years. I developed a blog and a whole entire lifestyle and career around veganism.
You even left grad school to just work on your blog.
I left grad school to pursue the blog full time, so I was very attached to the vegan label. I was the blonde vegan, so I felt very, very attached to being that person and very afraid to step away from that label. So I ignored my body's internal cues. My body was telling me, you need to start eating other things.
But share with us, because your body was telling you something, but share some of the symptoms you were having.
So I had lost my period for 6 months, which was the first sign to me that something was really off. My body was all out of whack. My hormones were not in check. I was also exhausted all the time. And being a very active person, being a yoga teacher, this was really difficult for me. I felt completely fatigued. It wasn't normal for me.
Were you irritable too?
I was irritable. I just didn't feel like myself. I don't think that veganism caused an eating disorder. I think that it triggered an eating disorder within me because of my personality. Pre-existing personality traits. A lot of people who go vegan have that extremism in them. So it's very easy to take it to the next level because you're teaching yourself these restrictive habits. So if you just start limiting yourself more and more, which I was doing because I was doing all this research on all different types of veganism, so raw veganism, the 80-10-10 plant-based diet, it's very easy to tip the scale into obsession.
Was it difficult for you to shift and start to incorporate other things? Was there?
Oh, it was extremely difficult.
Emotionally
it was
difficult?
Emotionally, physically, it took a huge impact. I had a ton of anxiety because I was really, really afraid to come out as a non-vegan after being such a public vegan.
Because that was your career.
That was my career, exactly. So
it's really
I didn't know
kind
if I
of
was
a brave thing to be able to say, for the past 2 years, I was kind of wrong. I was hiding some things, and to come forward with it. You got this huge backlash. Some of your people, were kind of bullying you. So where are you with your blog now? So how are you using this experience to...
So I came forward about the non-veganism. I had a ton of backlash, but I also had a ton of positive response. So I just took that as an opportunity to move forward and change my brand. I'm now the Balanced Blonde. So I'm incorporating...
Yay. That's nice. Hey, Travis, I have a lot of parents that are vegetarian in my practice, and they always want to know, is it going to be safe for my kids, my growing kids, to be a vegetarian? And the fact that the kids are growing puts them at a little higher risk for vitamin B12 deficiency and omega-3 deficiency. And hundreds of kids a year suffer brain damage from vitamin B12 deficiency. Brain damage.
I would end up with brain damage from eating the meat.
Well, but really quickly, can you just, it's a really important differentiation. There's a difference between being vegan and vegetarian. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but a vegetarian who eats eggs is getting things like B12.
Yeah, exactly.
If you truly go vegan, you've got to be very careful.
I prefer, if you have a growing child, have them be a lacto-pesco vegetarian. A vegetarian that also eats fish and dairy products. Then you're going to get your B12 and your omega-3s, which are vital. You're vegetarian. If you have to be a vegan, a true vegan, then you make sure you're taking a B12 supplement, and then you can get a sea algae-based omega-3 supplement that's not going to be fish-based, but it's still plant-based.
Thank you.
So as a Balanced Blonde now, so are you still struggling with this? Is it still something that every day?
It's still something I struggle with every day. I was hoping that it would be something I could just acknowledge the eating disorder and move forward, but that's not really been the case at all. It's something that still is difficult for me every day, and I have to challenge myself every day and try new things and just try to get rid of that voice in the back of my head that makes it really hard for me to eat all of the things that I had developed fears around.
Well, Jordan, we appreciate you sharing your story with us. We really do. And I think the important takeaway here is trying to be too healthy, that can become obsessive behavior. Whatever your diet, whatever works for you, make sure it's a healthy balance, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, paleo, whatever it may be. Listen to your body. Be careful about taking things to the extreme. Hey, I'm Dr. Travis Stork. Press here to subscribe to the doctor's YouTube channel and press here to help reduce tension.